Justice, if you are so get you Torkornoo and or Cassa one in Central for Dinkom, free bra ye seen chain and any day Dicanya, or Shadaba, a train Simona, or Channing Cassa more quanya, one for so in a few 100 days, no quan so crown or no, and then some no so uncle for can't go no so no smoothie anywhere no crew more. Could you mention some brown pie, a man bone in the course, I Medina say, it was so.
And suspended Chief Justice Gertrude Arapa is about Torkornoo. Wasn't send me to go often in some or Kodo or Kwana over there. We today Chief Justice or Mangana Muno. Was the two go there, says shares are onam do man there, only on Memuina Casano, Noma Banando, Nadama Banano, Ususu there, say one Casa, not a mouthful in whose our Cordona, and sure Debbie. Obia oye judge another oye duma wo judiciary bia no obia botum the petition bia ko there the me petitioning the me yimpi why am from dom bi nti no nam do ama we yin easy
is that the removal process that I'm involved in as Chief Justice is historic. In all of Ghana's 68-year history as an independent republic, there has never been a hearing for the removal of the Chief Justice. One would therefore have hoped that if such a process becomes necessary, it would provide good guidance and precedent for nation building.
Was already in other or yeah, and I want to be away to there on Ankasa as Chief Justice and one pede obey Juma onunti no will to the man of one. Now on Ghana and that chinti.
Persons who care, persons who may not know me beyond my public duties, and many who think that since these proceedings seem to be carefully staged to result in my removal as Chief Justice, it would be best if I just retired or resigned, rather than subject myself to an ill-motivated process. I have also received threats and veiled threats to the effect that if I fail to resign or retire voluntarily, I will be made to suffer some harm or the other. I've also heard commentaries in the media about how this process was born out of a stated political agenda to remove me and control the judiciary, and that it is a political effort that can only result in an outcome that was decided long before it started.
So I may get you Torkornoo nene in Central for share mudie no ye no na wo se ani die ni buo and what yama and say ya dana kwan so say won twe no ho ne nye anhwehwemu no na mamra no de e wo hono mo pepepese de tie wo be fe no so emunsam eni.
Every decision I took that is complained about by Mr. Ofori, Mr. Akogo, and the group calling itself Shining Stars was done as a part of a panel of at least 5 judges that made up the Supreme Court. And all judges in the panel are indemnified by Article 1273. How tenable, if I can respectfully ask, can it be that a petition to remove the Chief Justice from office can be entertained on these grounds? Every administrative decision is supported by my constitutional obligations, and I have shown with exhibits, or I showed to His Excellency the President with exhibits, that each decision that was listed was taken after due process, and yet a warrant of suspension was issued against me without giving reasons. On my part, I chose to respect His Excellency the President's warrant of suspension, even though it was clear to me that it was not supported by a prima facie determination that is required by the Constitution and decisions of the Supreme Court. I have chosen to honor the process set in place to hear the petitions, but I do not choose to hide from the nation that perversion of law, rules, and due process, as we all know, them are driving the proceedings, and this renders the proceedings unconstitutional. I choose to trust that such darkness will not totally engulf this nation. May God bless our homeland, Ghana, and make our nation great and strong. Every decision...
So, Chief Justice Gertrude Torkornoo, then some no emu edia. Now, was he free bra or lawyer, judge, and ne Chief Justice, edia free hono. We be to me anymore and cat say beer, or dear Sembia or dear dem dear, Bibisa in Cedar, and also some of the two edi.
I am confident that in my journey as a lawyer, as a judge, and now as Chief Justice, there is no one person in this country who can look at me in the eye and accuse me of taking a bribe to decide a case. This is the personal treasure of integrity that I live with. So what if these current proceedings are being carefully staged to result in my removal as Chief Justice, even if there's no lawful justification? All I have stated shows that any such action would have been done on the basis of lies and violations of law and due process. As a career judge who has served under 4 presidents, from High Court through Court of Appeal and Supreme Court, I could never have imagined such irregularities possible if I had not personally encountered them. I am also a mother, and I am a grandmother who must hope for better than this for her country.